Analysts have found pictures of 27 public executions during the reign of Kim Jong-un, including his uncle Jang Song-taek, the shooting from anti-aircraft guns of Defense Minister Hyun Yong-chol, whose fault was that he fell asleep in the presence of the supreme leader of the DPRK, Kim Jong-un, and also did not follow the order of the leader, a mysterious state closed from travelers. This is exactly what North Korea seems to many. In the past few years, North Korea has been actively trying to attract tourists, where about 250,000 tourists come annually. But what do they come to see?
Leader Kim Il-sung said, "Korea did not receive so many gifts from other countries in its 5,000-year-long history as today. Only in the year of the Workers' Party, it is receiving a lot of gifts from the peoples of other countries. It is a pride and greatest honor of our nation."
Number 10. The Palace of Friendship of Peoples, located in the mountains, not far from the town of Mago, is a 2-hour drive from the capital of North Korea. The museum is located in the middle of a beautiful park with a waterfall and paths. In the palace, with long corridors inside, escalators and many rooms, there is a collection of 165,500 gifts donated at different times by various delegations or leaders of other countries in the name of Kim Il-sung. The leader considered the gifts given to him as the property of the people. This collection is located in 20 exhibition halls. Gifts are quite expensive, and some gifts are simply masterpieces of art. For example, such as a painting of 4.5 million butterflies, a painting of 830 million mollusk shells, as this 110 government limousine with bulletproof glass, office made of metal, a train car, several Mercedes, Samsung TV and much more. In Korean culture, there is a tradition of giving each other gifts, so it's not surprising that comrades Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il set aside a special place for this. The mission of the museum is to show the world that Korea is in solidarity with other countries of the world. North Korea keeps a national heritage in the museum, which is available for viewing for all museum guests. Number 9. The Palace of Pioneers and School Children is a youth center for creativity, sports, extracurricular activities of the young North Korean generation. All children of North Korea become pioneers in elementary school, wear red scarves around their necks. The palace is located in the Pyongyang-Manjan region. Its area is about 3,000 square meters. The hall is designed for 2,000 people. Performances and concerts are held here, which you can watch with pleasure. All tourists who come to North Korea attend such concerts at the Pioneer Palace. The children's performances are amazingly impressive as the children try very hard. Number 8. Museum of the Patriotic Liberation War or Korean War. A huge museum in Pyongyang with a large number of exhibition halls presents expositions dedicated to the war between North and South Korea. The Soviet Union was then on the side of the North, America on the side of the South. A lot of things that symbolize the war are stored here. The remains of military clothing, weapons, military equipment, tanks, planes, wagons. Also, in the museum building, you can see many posters in Russian. Patriotism is traced in everything, and the attitude to protect the country at the cost of one's own life. For visitors, a guide, usually a girl in military uniform, talks about past events, parts and a video to watch. The diorama shows a show that is better captured not on cameras, but in your memories. When visiting a country like North Korea, I advise you to visit the Korean War Museum. You can feel the spirit of history and the attitude of the Korean people towards their country. Number 7. American Spy Ship Museum Pueblo. A vessel that had made secret incursions into Korean waters on several occasions to scout for North Korean military secrets has now stopped off the banks of the Taedong River, the site where the American pirate ship General Sherman was sunk in the early 1960s. Pueblo was captured by the Korean People's Army in the sea area of the city of Wonsan. Although the United States tried to regain it, it was all in vain. As a result, in 1968, the American side apologized for committing hostile acts using this ship in relation to North Korea. The ship is a visual aid for Korean contemporaries, reminding that victory awaits the Korean side in the confrontation with the American side. North Korea, although small in area, is strong in its heroic endurance. A visit to the ship and a story about the glorious victory of the North Korean sailors is part of the main sightseeing program for tourists in Pyongyang. Number 6. Mass Show Ariran, a show including the nomination of the world's most massive sports and artistic performance of the Guinness Book of Records. The grand show is held annually in Pyongyang and falls on the period August-September. The performance takes place at the largest May Day stadium in the world, seating more than 150,000 spectators. The stadium, located on the island Naina, in the middle of the Taungag River, also distinguished itself in its form. The peculiarity of its architecture is that the arches lined up in a ring create the image of magnolia flower. The arena of the stadium of the capital of North Korea hosts matches of the DPRK national team. But the most important purpose of the square is to host the well-known mass holiday show Ariran. The number of participants in the art show is so large that it's 1% of the population of this country, up to 200,000 talented youth. The speakers surprise everyone with their synchronicity and beauty, presenting thematic epic pictures to the audience. It gives the impression of a live screen, created from the participants on the stage in bright costumes. The performance is accompanied by graceful dances, songs, gymnastic numbers, acrobatic stunts, high-quality lighting equipment, scenery. Many foreign tourists come to Pyongyang to attend such an amazing and unforgettable show, the heritage and pride of North Korea. Number 5. Arc de Triomphe. In the round square there is a huge gate at the foot of Mount Moran. Anyone arriving the capital of North Korea cannot hide them, since it is the first thing that catches your eye. The granite arch is dedicated to the oppositional movement of the Koreans against the Japanese invaders in 1925 to 1954. The height of 60 meters and the location of the arch allows free public transport to pass under it. The arch is the highest in the world. Climbing up to the top platform of the gate, you can see a beautiful panorama of the city and the stadium of the 1st of May. Number 4. The monumental West Sea Dam is one of the main structures in North Korea, an 8-kilometer long and 10-lane wide road that blocked the mouth of the Taedong River lead from Pyongyang to the port sea of Nampo. The dam has 3 lock chambers for the passage of ships. The dam itself is crossed by a railroad, a highway and a footpath. The construction of the dam made it possible to provide good irrigation of the land and protect the port of Nampo from high and low tides. With lock on the island there is a lighthouse resembling an anchor. At its base there is a museum of the construction of the dam. The general view of the dam is very impressive. When traveling in North Korea, don't forget to visit the dam and museum to see such a useful and beautiful accomplishment of the country. Number 3. The Pyongyang subway is the cheapest in the world in terms of cost and one of the deepest in the world in terms of depth. The depth is 20 to 100 meters and the length of the 2 metro lines is 22.5 kilometers. The subway is illuminated by parts of the balustrades. Some stations are quite luxurious, lined with marble, bas-relief, mosaics. A visit to the subway, especially the stations Yongwan and Puan, is included in the main part of the routes of tourists in North Korea. Number 2. The Kamgan Mountains, or Diamond Mountains, stretch along the east coast of the Korean peninsula. They rise up to 1,638 meters. The Kamgansan region is considered one of the most beautiful and famous places in North Korea. There are many songs and sayings about the amazing Kamgan Mountains. Lakes, waterfalls, an abundance of greenery, and unusual relief formed by erosion, stone transformations give uniqueness to such a masterpiece of nature. In autumn, the mountains are especially beautiful due to the leaves of the trees, which change their colors. The burgundy mountains are called the mountains of autumn leaf fall, Phonaksan. In winter, the rocks of the mountains are exposed and they have their own name, Kegelsan. The raging summer greenery was given the appropriate name, Ponesan, Green Mountains. In spring, morning dew covers the peaks, causing the rocks to sparkle at dawn. During this period of the year, they are called Kamgan, Diamond Mountains. Each season has a different name. Koreans have endured many hardships throughout history, including malnutrition. When greeting each other even today, one of the first questions is, "Have you eaten yet?" And here is what a well-known Korean proverb says about the Diamond Mountains. Even Kamgan should be watched after a good dinner. For Koreans, it's considered pride if they visit the Diamond Mountains of Kamgan. When planning to visit a country like North Korea, I advise you to visit this beautiful tourist region. Number 1. Panmunjom is the border between North and South Korea. The village is 55 kilometers away. 1953. marked the signing of the Panmunjom Armistice, which ended the Korean War. The 38th parallel is an armed place in the world. Mines, trenches, barbed wire, observation towers along the entire border. Millions of soldiers stand guard along the demilitarized zone. The place is quite dangerous, but on the other hand, it's a big tourist attraction. Thousands of tourists visit the border of the Panmunjom War every year. The place for meetings and discussions of North and South Korea is a designated piece of land protected by both sides, a building with a negotiating table. Tourists should have an appearance and behavior that comply with the rules for visiting this especially noteworthy place.